It's a blessing and a privilege.
Something that I love unconditionally.
It's been my whole life.
My life,
and my family, my kids.
A lifetime.
A lifetime of passion, love, and fulfillment.
We've all been given the gift of basketball.
It started when I was a young kid that fell in love with this orange ball.
This gift is something more.
Opportunity.
Endless opportunity.
to be able to see the world.
Meeting wonderful people. Friendships and bonds. The places it can take you.
Something that motivates us.
The gift of passion, something that's bigger than myself.
Inspires us.
Definitely give me a
A
platform.
platform to help and change lives.
And becomes us.
A program that I hoped and dreamed of.
The joy.
Thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
The gift.
Higher education.
Completely changed my life.
Leadership.
It brings to you,
The memories never go away.
to me, and to us.
All of this little orange ball has created.
Man, I love this sport.
Basketball is awesome, baby, with a capital A.
Live from Reynolds Coliseum, it's the women's NIT tonight. The Wofford Terriers out of the Southern Conference at number 5 NC State, ready to bounce back, looking for their first win on the 2021 season. Welcome to courtside with former NC State guard Ernie Myers. Evan Budrovich with you. This Wolfpack club dropped a tough contest to number 1 South Carolina. How do they bounce back tonight?
They got to get the ball into the Big Smile, the preseason ACC Player of the Year. They got to get the ball into her. She has to demand an established position.
Elisa Cunane, the preseason Player of the Year, only 8 points on Tuesday night. How do Wolfpack get her more involved?
She has to establish herself. They got to get her the ball. They got to move the ball side to side, and she's got to kick it out when she doesn't have it.
Cunane and the Wolfpack take on a dynamic duo, and Wes Moore knows this club, he wants to build this young class of freshmen and seniors mixed together. This might be a night against Wofford where more players can get minutes and build his roster's depth.
Oh, absolutely. He's looking to play a lot of different players, a lot of different combinations. In the call we had, he talked about, he has to fix a lot of things, and he wants to get a lot of other players involved in the game.
Wes Moore even joked, the greatest win in his program's history. There's been teachable moments. That's the same in a tough loss as he looks for win 191 tonight against the Wofford Terriers. So Wes Moore takes on a man very familiar with NC State in Jimmy Garrity, who grew up an NC State fan. He worked for the Wolfpack Club, and his wife was the tennis coach for 3 years at NC State. What a moment for Garrity bringing his Wofford Terriers to Reynolds.
Absolutely. It's probably a dream come true for him. He grew up in Cary, North Carolina, so right down the road here. And I know he's excited about the Terriers coming in here playing the Wolfpack.
And Wofford last season had a great end to the year. Made it all the way to the Southern Conference Championship game for the first time ever. That momentum combined with 4 returning starters gives a lot of hope for the Terriers. You see the top 5 NC State Wolfpack struggle to score the basketball against number 1 South Carolina. A new change in the lineup. Kayla Jones gets inserted in the starting attack. Looking to spark the offense here tonight.
Oh yeah, Kayla Jones, I call her the glue. She's going to get it done. Back in the starting lineup.
It is time for basketball. Perfect night here in Reynolds Coliseum. And Angelica's suffering, ready to rock and roll. There's Kayla Jones, the UC Riverside transfer. The Highlanders coming to the Wolfpack. And we are ready to rock and roll. Second all-time meeting between these clubs. And away we go. Lily Hatt wins the tip, the 2-time all-conference forward for Wofford. A club that last year, 62 points a game. But they did have the 3rd best scoring defense in the Southern Conference. That's been their strength defensively.
Well, they're going to have to play some great defense tonight.
Reagan Raypert, the true freshman, off on the 3. And for these NC State Wolfpack, in that loss to South Carolina, only 57 points. So Wes Moore, we mentioned coming in, the change in the lineup, inserting Kayla Jones alongside the veteran guards in Perez and Crutchfield.
Well, Kayla Jones was all ACC last year and was an important part of that team. She, like I said, she was the glue.
Jakia Brown-Turner on the shot fake. Looking to feed the ball into Cunane early. Elisa has it stripped loose. And turnover forced by Wofford. Quick hands by Alexis Tomlin, part of that forward duo that averaged 20 points a game combined. Raypert, the true freshman, a 4-time state champion in the state of Missouri, leads the attack. Now Nia Lutz dishes it off. Tomlin the finish. Wofford last season got to the free throw line more than any team in the Southern Conference. They love to drive the basketball, and a good example right there is we have a whistle and a foul on the Terriers.
Yeah, here she goes.
Wes Moore talking to us this week. Plenty of things to improve and work on. He loved the atmosphere playing on Tuesday night, but knows it's a long season for his club. That bounce back starts tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And he knows that he's going to get every team's A game.
That's an offensive foul on Perez and an early turnover for NC State.
Every game this season.
Reina Perez talking about her this week. She's a pro and how approaches everything, according to head coach Wes Moore. Where do you see that professional approach from Perez on a daily basis?
Oh, absolutely. I go to practice all the time, and she drills. She does everything at game speed. She's definitely a pro, and she will be playing professionally after this year's over.
Reagan Rapert not afraid of the challenge, and that's 2 quick fouls on Perez here in this first quarter. Wofford Terriers have had a disappointing start to the season. Lost to College of Charleston 80-48, but Coach Jimmy Garrity loved the opportunity to bounce back this weekend.
Yeah, he wants to bounce back. You know, his team plays hard, and he's expecting a better performance tonight.
In fact, the first foul on Perez, the other was on Cunane early. Wofford's second ever trip to this building, and the first was the brand new renovation game in 2016. Garrity was the man who coached in that building. As there's a tough jumper that bounces out for Helen Matthews. Loose ball. Wofford again up with it. No. Offensive rebound to Lutz. Look at the Terriers undersized attacking the glass.
Oh, yes. They are getting in there, and that's what they're going to have to do to win this game.
On the shot fake, and a 4-0 start. Quieting this crowd of 5,000 plus, and Wes Moore calls a timeout. Here come the Terriers early in the first 2 minutes. Wofford up by 4. Sticking on campus here for NC State. Tough news is Manny Bates, big forward down low, the shot block leader for this program, is out. As head coach Kevin Keith says, I'm heartbroken for Manny because he's overcome so much to become an incredible player that he is. Ernie, what a tough loss for NC State. Huge loss for the Wolfpack men's team. He was the rim protector. He was working out. He was worked on his game all summer. Tough loss, but next man up, Ebenezer, Jalen, they got to step up and play. Next man up. NC State offensively needs to get something going. So Cunane to the challenge, can't convert. And Lily Hatton's been working hard down low. Last touch by the Wofford forward. Tomlin and Hatton, a dynamic duo, both part of the all-conference team last season. A nice nucleus with 7 seniors here for Coach Jimmy Garrity. Hey, 7 seniors, that's a lot of experience. So they're used to playing together. Have been in big buildings as well, played at Kentucky last year as Jakia Brown-Turner puts NC State on the board. Beautiful move by Jakia Brown-Turner down low. Love to get more scoring from Jakia, 18 points, a big jump from year 2 to year 3. All ACC performer last year. That's just the first shot of the night for NC State, and we have an offensive foul going the other way. Picked up by Nia Lutz. Here's Jakia Brown-Turner posting up, taking it with the left hand. First team all ACC, kind of the hidden weapon for Wes Moore, especially without the services of Jada Boyd, at least for the rest of this month, maybe in early December as well. Turner jacks up a 3. Comes up short, another defensive rebound for Reagan Rapert. The true freshman running and gunning. He's pushing it. Tomlin in the block. Tough position among the trees. Wofford team among the country leaders in free throw attempts. They love to get to the line. Lutz lets it fly. And another offensive rebound. Tomlin back up and in. Tomlin. The senior from Myrtle Beach. Yeah, she's saying Cunane who? She's getting a rebound and putting it back up right in her face. Outdueling the all-ACC performer early in this first quarter. Another three-pointer for NC State, knocked in. And that's Jakia Brown-Turner's shot. That smooth left hand from the perimeter. Jakia, 8 of 16 shooting on Tuesday and led the team last year. 1.5 three-pointers a game. Need more of those in this first quarter. Absolutely. Here's Helen Matthews working the point. Gets to her spot. No fear from the Wofford Terriers in this first quarter, and a rare miss. No, they're playing hard.
and they're getting back on defense.
Here's Jones' turn. One of the third straight three for NC State. And it's last touch by the Wolfpack.
Here's Tomlin battling with the scoop to the hoop. And here's the smooth left-hander, Jakia Brown-Turner. Splash.
That's NC State giving up a good shot for a better shot. That's what Westmore wants to see. After his offense made just 5 threes on Tuesday. And how about the drive from Matthews? Speaking of 5, there's number 5 for Wofford coming out. She turns 20 next week, having a prime performance here at the end of her 19-year. Not as fun as those 18th birthdays or the Sweet 16s, but 20 is still important.
Yes, absolutely.
That last year of freedom is Crutchfield knocks in the 3.
That's her shot, Kai Crutchfield, also known as Kai Clutchfield.
Clutchfield shot 47% from three-point range last year, set a program single-season record. Lutz comes up short on the jumper, and the Terriers have missed 3 straight shots. Brown-Turner kicks it out. Here's Jones, wide open, and the first lead for NC State.
Jakia Brown-Turner. Oh, that's Jones.
Kayla Jones done. She played 20 minutes on Tuesday, gets the start tonight. Westmore loved her intensity in practice this week. Wanted to shake up the lineup. Here's Wes in his 33rd season of coaching, knows a thing or two, and Lily Hatton heats up from 3.
Lily Hatton with the pure jump shot.
She's a 2-time All-SoCon performer. Certainly neat, the matchup of veteran-laden teams. Jones going to work. That's a mismatch, but could not convert. See the 3-point numbers. NC State living by the 3. The Terriers, offensive rebounds, 5 in the first quarter.
Yeah, the Wolfpack's not boxing out.
Hatton gets to her spot and banks out. Rebound Kune.
Here's the Wolfpack on the push.
Westmore mentions week he wants his team to run in transition, and there's Jones.
Beautiful pass by Jakia Brown-Turner to KJ.
Jones making her presence felt. That's 5 points in her first career start. First team All-ACC in the spring. Wofford had success in this first quarter attacking the basket. Lutz spots it up top. And the 3-point woes continue. 1 of 4 from deep.
Here's the Wolfpack on the push.
Reyna Perez, such a great operator of the basketball. And there's a turnover right on cue.
Unforced turnovers.
Look at the pace in this first quarter. There's Tomlin with a screen to set up some space. Lutz is left wide open, but she cannot convert. A lot of good shots for the Terriers late in this first quarter.
And they're wide open.
Ooh, Kunane, great position. Now the shot fake, but can't hit the bunny. How much are the jitters here for Kunane after a tough game on Tuesday?
It just seems like she's not getting lift on her jump hook. Yeah, she's struggling a little bit right now.
Raper, the true freshman, comes up short.
She'll get it together.
Wofford still shooting 50%, however. Don't sleep on Perez, who sneaks by the defense and banks it in. The rim kind to Reyna Perez.
She got the bounce with the ball fake and the nice soft touch. Reyna Perez.
Perez was so efficient on Tuesday, 7 of 9 shooting against South Carolina. Bear the load in a 57-point performance and a loss to #1 South Carolina. Matthews and the Terriers dropped a 30-point loss to College of Charleston, but they are unafraid tonight. Tomlin the rebound, and Kunane jumps on top of her. Jump ball, possession, NC State.
Tomlin plays hard. She's not afraid.
Both teams going deep into the bench here in the final 2 minutes of this first quarter as Tomlin takes a breather. And check it in, Abby Crawford down low, the 6'1" sophomore. Jones to the bench as well. And Madison Hayes coming in. Kayla Jones on a minute count tonight, if we're thinking more in a baseball sense. Won't play the entire game, but very productive in her first 8. Here's our first look at Jessica Timmons, highly regarded exploratory studies major. She's been exploring the floor, and a traveling violation on Camille Hobby.
Yeah, good looking freshman out of Charlotte.
Westmore mentioned this week he wants to get more minutes for Timmons. Felt like in game 1 against South Carolina, that's a tough time to get her in her first experience.
Yeah, that's a tough game to get into for a freshman.
Imagine throwing a freshman to the deep end. I'm here with Ernie Myers, who set a NC State freshman record, 35 points in a game nearly 30 years ago. There's the three-pointer for Annabelle Schultz, and that comes up strong. The Terriers started this game 2 of 2 from deep. They've missed their last 3. Here's an open 3 for Timmons, and almost banked it in. Hobby saves it. All of a sudden, NC State, their first offensive rebound. Diamond Johnson on the shot fake.
The Wolfpack looks kind of unsure on offense.
Clock down to 5 for Perez, who rattles out the 3, and saved by Lauren Cook for Wofford. Cook, one of the 7 seniors for the Terriers. Now a three-pointer is in. Jackie Carmen from downtown.
And that's what she does. She can shoot the 3. But she's wide open. The Wolfpack is not playing intense defense right now.
Jessica Timmons, the number 45 recruit in the country. Westmore loves her potential as Hobby goes down low. Gets away with the pivot foot. Nope, the ref sees it. And the Wolfpack with another turnover. It's their 4th.
Yeah. Here's Cook with the wide open 3. Bottom.
Bottoms up. Jackie Carmen with the 3rd three-pointer for Wofford. The Terriers searching for options late in this first quarter. How about an attack of the basket by Carmen? 5 points off the bench.
Carmen on the attack.
Also of note, Aaliyah Harris checks in for the first time. The senior from Cincinnati, number 32 in the old gold for Wofford. Boy, Perez off balance at the end of the quarter, can't convert. And maybe not something you expected through 10 minutes. Wofford leads by 1 in the second all-time meeting between these clubs. The Terriers attacking the basket. It's the bench play so far. Carmen with 5 early points. Wofford has the lead. NC State at an 0-1 start after battling number 1 South Carolina on Tuesday night. Here's the key numbers. The Gamecocks never trailed in that game, and Zaya Cook took over in the second half. That was a competitive basketball game, and Westmore said we learned a lot from that game on Tuesday.
Yeah, they did, but they have to box out and play more intense defense.
Yep.
Moving forward.
Wofford with 4 offensive rebounds, something you did not expect entering this game. Here's a drive by Lauren Cook and nearly had the basket. Loose ball on the floor, scooped up by Crawford, and a jump ball. Possession NC State, however, the effort of Wofford clear.
Oh yeah, they're playing hard. They're playing hard for Coach, and that's what he said. They give maximum effort as a team.
Jiminy Garrity said, we really need to make shots in this game. We can run our stuff. At the end of the day, he's going to like the result regardless of the score. And he has to like the score right now, leading by 1 in the second quarter.
Yeah, they are making shots.
As Camille Hayes off on the 3. Wolfpack shooting at 3 of 9 from downtown. Carmen slashing in. That's a tough fadeaway, and the result is proven there.
Tough shot, Carmen.
Defense for NC State clamping down in this second quarter. Allowed just 62 points a game last year. That finished first in the ACC in scoring defense. Hobby can't hit the jumper. Both teams a little out of rhythm here early.
Yeah.
How do they settle in the second quarter?
Yeah, Coach is trying to find a combination right now, trying to get some energy into the game.
Both teams off Tuesday night emotional games. And a 3-second in the key turnover on Abby Crawford, the sophomore from Blounteville, Tennessee.
Unforced turnover. The Wolfpack has to take advantage of this.
One thing we have seen is both teams unafraid to work the ball in the post and use their post players to be effective. Timmons, the teardrop comes up strong.
Not a good shot for the freshman.
Westmore wants to get her going after not playing on Tuesday night. Schultz kicks it out. Here's Harris. Good ball movement by the Terriers, and it turns into a 3 for Schultz.
They are making shots tonight.
Wofford had 8 assists. That was the whole game on Tuesday, and here tonight they have 4. As Hobby off on a deep 3, a little bit of a rush shot, but Bryant gets the rebound.
And that's what the Wolfpack is doing. They're one pass and a shot. They're not moving the ball from one side of the court to the other. They're not taking their time on the offense.
How about Annabelle Schultz heating up for Wofford in the second quarter?
There you go, Annabelle. Bang!
Ernie, your wife Annabelle must be a happy camper watching this at home. Seeing Annabelle Schultz step up, the sophomore from Asheville. She was a calligraphy major, by the way.
Calligraphy.
Very smooth hands, not only shooting the threes, but writing up her best work. It's a lost art.
Yeah.
Wofford, a very high academic university in Spartanburg, South Carolina. They have 6 Rhodes Scholars all time as there's a turnover. Sloppy pass from Johnson.
Yeah, the Wolfpack looked out of sync. Coach is going to put a whole new 5 in.
Time to bring back the starters, Westmore says. A starting 5 that was uber successful last year in a Sweet 16 run. 22-3. A lot of basketball to go, but an early statement from his coach. 2 minutes in to bring back the starters.
Yeah, this was the original starting 5 from last year that won the ACC championship.
Crutchfield playing tight defense. Harmon took over the end of the first quarter with 5 points, wants a screen. Now Harris through the trees and draws a foul. And that's the first for NC State.
The Wolfpack on defense looks a step slow tonight.
This is what Wofford likes to do. Led the SoCon in free throw attempts and free throw percentage. And getting to the line, that's always a huge factor when playing a bigger, more physical team. That foul was called on the court. No shot attempt. Raypert to trigger it in, the true freshman. 4-time state champion. That's something tough to do at any level as Raypert sneaks through and banks it home. Raypert unafraid of the moment. Kumain down low. Back to Brown-Turner on the shot fake. NC State settling for threes tonight. 9 attempts from deep. Here's the 10th for Brown-Turner. And it rattles out. Rebound Johnson.
I thought she should have dumped that into Name.
Elise is begging for the ball. Give credit to Alexis Tomlin defensively. Kunain beats her this time and one.
There you go.
Elisa Kunain, the preseason All-ACC player, getting involved with some physicality.
Here they're whipping the ball around, getting it contained with the left hand.
By the way, the unabated strength and toughness of Wofford, even sliding in there for Helen Matthews. This club's not afraid of facing a top 5 NC State team.
No, they're a veteran ball club, and they're used to playing on the road against big teams. They're not afraid to play here in Reynolds Coliseum.
Kunain makes the free throw. That's been her bread and butter. 84% last season. Very Ernie Miners-esque from the free throw line. Back in '85, you were an ACC champion in free throws. What a nice skill to have for any big player who can convert from the line.
Oh, absolutely. That's the way you had to stay on the court. If you couldn't shoot free throws, you weren't going to be in the game at the end of the game.
Wofford shooting 36% in this game. Started red hot as Hatton's pass is knocked away. NC State basketball. Every Saturday, The Huddle with Jordan Cornett, Eric McLean, EJ Manuel, and Mark Rick get you ready for ACC football. They'll preview the slate of games and keep you updated on all things ACC. 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Diamond Johnson bounces that one home. First points for the transfer.
Nice shot by Diamond.
Westmore mentioning Diamond Johnson struggling to find her rhythm with this new club that returns 5 starters. Gets her first points here, and that was almost a travel.
Yeah, she averaged 17 points a game at Rutgers last year.
All-conference guard as well, very talented.
Yeah, she wanted to play on the big stage, so she transferred here to NC State.
But as Westmore mentioned, there's so much talent on this team. You have to find the right balance for playing time as Matthews is off on the jumper.
Well, again, Coach V used to say, I don't pick who plays, the players pick who plays.
Johnson wants to put her impact on this game, knocking down a 3.
Johnson, that's her game. She has a crazy stat line. She shoots she shot 90% from the free throw line, 40% from 3, and 50% from the field.
Steve Nash type numbers as NC State with its largest lead of this game. Think about that with 5.5 minutes to go in the half. Raypert sets up the point for Matthews. Shot clock down to 5. Hatton looks for help. Good dump down to Tomlin and lost track of the clock. That's a shot clock violation as NC State starts to take over in this second quarter.
Better defense on that possession for the Wolfpack.
Westmore said coming into this game, we need momentum back. We need to find confidence. How does his club do that tonight?
Well, they have to get the ball inside to Elisa Conane, and they gotta get the ball from one side of the court to the other.
Jakia Brown-Turner has been lethal from 3 tonight, but misses that one.
Yeah, this one pass and a shot is not.
And that plays right in the Wofford's
basketball,
hands, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it does.
NC State 4 of 12 from three-point range. They struggled on Tuesday night, just 5 of 18. It's early in the season, Ernie. One of those things you have to learn and develop with a new three-point line backed up 2 more feet this year. Wofford down just 2. They have not scored in 2.5 minutes as Lutz looks to stop that run. Kunane with her 5th rebound. Crutchfield. Oh, I feel like I want to attack the basket there if you're Westmore. Be aggressive. And a foul that time underneath on Hatton. When we come back, more from the second quarter as Wofford hanging around. Diamond Johnson heating up for the Wolfpack, leading by 2. Jimmy Garrity, the head coach of Wofford, has a coaching tie in his family. His wife, Jenny, was a 3-year coach at NC State and the coach of the year in 1997. What a neat dynamic for these two coming back on campus tonight.
Yes, they're Terriers, but they're Wolfpackers at heart. Yeah, they're from this area. It's beautiful to see him come back here. And
Jenny spent the last decade at UNC Wilmington as a tennis coach. They bounced around as a family. We asked him, how are those Thanksgiving dinners? And he said, we don't talk about sports at all. It's a nice reprieve. It's a normal time of day. And those two can bond together over what's been a nice start for Wofford here in this first half. Good dump down to Kunane. But she can't hit the layup. Tough shooting start for the all-ACC forward. 1 of 4 from the field. Yeah,
she's struggling on the offensive end. She needs to gather herself and just go up strong with the ball.
Wofford led by 5 points from Carmen, 4 from Raypert, who sets up a 3. And there's the dynamic duo, but a miss. One thing we have seen from Kunane, big rebounding, 6 boards in this first half. Kayla Jones wants a clear out. This is a big mismatch. Crutchfield, a tight catch, and she steps out of bounds. NC State with its 7th turnover.
Yeah, they just don't look great on offense right now. They're struggling on the offensive end.
Not only 7 turnovers, Ernie, but this is in the midst of an 8-0 run when the Wolfpack are playing their best basketball, struggling to get balls to go in the basket. Good trap here at the midcourt line, and just sneaking through is Raypert, who kicks it out. Schultz for 3. Rebound, Tomlin, and she's fouled. How about the presence of Alexis Tomlin, the senior, fighting down low?
Yeah, Kunane's got to find her and put a body on her and box her out.
Only the 2nd team foul for NC State. However, okay, it is just the first on Kunane. Just double checking. They reversed a call from earlier in this one. This Wofford club who lost by 32 on Tuesday night, playing inspired basketball. There's the kick out to Schultz again, and this time she misses. Every rebound difficult for NC State. +4 on the boards, and it feels like a much tougher task. Brown-Turner for 3. Gets her own rebound. Johnson. Look at Kunane fighting for position, but nothing comes easy against Tomlin. Good bank shot.
See, they worked it in. They got the ball from one side of the court to the other and worked it in to Kunane for the left-handed lay-in.
Alyssa Kunane led this team in scoring, 16 points, 8 rebounds last year. And with a 10-second violation forced by the Wolfpack defensively.
Yeah, they're picking up the defensive intensity full court.
There's Kunane getting up to 5 points, working in the post. Big point emphasis for Westmore this week. We have to feed Kunane the ball more. Want to see her scoring jump up after putting up just 8 on Tuesday. Look at that tussle at the block. Kunane, the hesitation. That's her sweet spot.
There she is. got the ball inside. They got it to a nice jump hook by Kunane in the lane.
Kunane, one of 5 players on this Wolfpack team on preseason watch list. Such a talented group. But now that potential looks to carry itself out tonight as they lead by 6 and almost knocked down to 3. Rimmed out for Carmen. Look at running the floor, Crutchfield.
That's what Coach Moore likes to see. He wants to see him push the ball up the court.
Largest lead for NC State. Wofford led by 1 after 10 minutes. Here's a deep 3 for Raypert. Forcing some shots. Rebound Schultz. Gets position and scores. Stops a 14-0 run.
Another offensive rebound.
This is a critical 2 minutes for Wofford to stay in this game late. Nice drive. Better finish. Isaiah James with her first career bucket.
Isaiah James is an athletic freshman. Looking good on that land.
Top 10 recruit from Princess Anne High School in Virginia Beach. Look at Westmore going deep to his bench tonight. Wofford's missed its last 8 shots. Johnson, the transfer, sets up this attack. Nice kick out from Jones. And Kunane rattles out the 3.
She can hit that 3-pointer.
Elisa Kunane, 7 points tonight, 6 rebounds. Nearly a double-double in this first half. Now Cook, good pass out. Nice kick around, and the 3 is good.
Carmen came to play.
Jackie Carmen, 8 points off the bench, leading scorer for Wofford. Here's a 3 from Johnson. She says, I can do better with a bouncing bank shot.
Johnson.
The rim's kind here in Reynolds Coliseum in the first half.
Yes, definitely. That's the second shot she has taken.
How many career points would you have had in this building with those type of rims tonight, Ernie?
Yeah, soft rims. She has a nice touch on that jump shot.
NC State's made 5 of its last 6 from the field to extend this lead up to 8. Raypert with the clock at 7. Schultz for 3. She's got 3 tonight.
They're wide open shots.
9 points for Schultz. Final seconds of the half. Look at Johnson heaving up her prayer. And that ends the first half. The Wolfpack storm back late in the second quarter, thanks to the transition and 3-point shots.
Yes. His Crutchfield on the lay-in. And here's Diamond with the soft touch.
Halftime here in Reynolds Coliseum. NC State leads by 5 over Wofford, searching for their first win of the season. And Ernie, early on, it's been a battle of 2 guards shooting the basketball well and really highly competitive first 20 minutes.
Yes, it has. And Diamond Johnson came off the bench, and she's leading in scoring right now. And
Diamond Johnson's been rolling for NC State tonight, not only in scoring, but setting up her offense as well.
Here she is on a nice soft touch. She gets a lot of rim action. Here she is again on a nice 3. Splash. Beautiful touch.
8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. So the transfer in her first year, really stepping up from Rutgers when her team needed it.
Yes.
Meanwhile, for Wofford, Jackie Carmen off the bench with 8 points.
Jackie Carmen came in the game aggressive. Here she is in the lane. Here she's in the corner 3. Bang! Carmen.
Corner pocket, who's heating up in the second quarter as well with this 3. Wofford led by as many as 6. NC State came storming back to an 8-point lead late in the half. And here's the key numbers, Ernie. Each team 5 3-pointers. But how about the Wolfpack? Only 1 free throw attempt. They have not gotten to the foul line a bunch tonight.
Yeah, they're not getting the ball inside to Kunane. And that's where you get the fouls and the free throws. And they're not moving the ball from one side of the court to the other side of the court. A lot of times it's one shot, one pass and a shot. So they're not driving the ball into the lane to get those fouls to get to the free throw line.
NC State, 5th-ranked team in the country, among the best overall entering the year. They played #1 South Carolina this week, really testing themselves to see where they rank in the country. And Ernie, there's some great players on this team as well. You think about the preseason all-award list team for NC State, all 5 players on the awards list. There's a lot of potential. Now it's about putting it together.
Yeah, it's about putting it together, finding combinations, players trying to figure it out. You know, players trying to figure out how much time they're going to get. You know, we haven't seen Perez too much in the first half. So, you know, it's just trying to find their way right now, trying to figure it out.
Look at this list: the Lisa Leslie Award, the Ann Myers-Drysdale, Nancy Lieberman, 2 players at the point guard position, and the Matrina McClain Award for Kayla Jones. That is a lot of watch lists, a lot of articles for Maddie Smith, the SID, to write.
A lot of talent, a lot of talent.
Rebecca Lobo, speaking of talent, she breaks down some of the best teams in the country in college basketball and speaks highly of NC State as well.
They are one of the best teams in the country. They came back from a team that won an ACC championship, a Sweet 16 team. But they got a lot of new pieces that they got to put together, and they're just going through it right now.
Cunane took on that responsibility after a tough loss on Tuesday. She said, put it on my shoulders. I want to carry this team throughout the week. Maybe not the greatest numbers in this first half, Ernie, but all of a sudden 7 points, 6 rebounds, 13 productive minutes when her club needed it most.
Yes, she's coming through. Tomlin is playing great defense on her. You know, she's not intimidated at all, but they need to get the ball to her more. And it'll be more of an inside-out game because she will kick it out to the shooters.
You see Wofford here led by 8 points from Carmen, 8 from Schultz. We have not said Lily Hatton's name at all tonight. Just 3 points for the 2-time all-conference forward. How about her teammates stepping up and filling that role in scoring? Yeah,
they're coming together. They're playing. She's not having a great game, but everybody else is stepping up. Carmen came off the bench with 8 points to lead the team in the first half, so she'll probably have a better second half than she did the first.
Wes Moore searching for his 2nd win ever over Wofford. And more importantly for this club, some confidence with Florida and Towson coming up in the next 3 days. This stretch is where you need your depth more than ever before.
Yes, they need to come together because these next 3 games are going to be tough.
Saw Towson beat Florida in the early matchup here in day 1 of the WNIT preseason classic. Raper, the true freshman point guard on Perez, the 5th-year senior. What a contrast in style is running the point. 2 players who both been productive tonight. Ooh, Matthews the shimmy. Working her way through the lane with 5. Kicks it out to Tomlin, and that's a pretty play.
Again, Tomlin with the baseline jumper. She was wide open. Not a hand in her face.
Tomlin up to 6 points, and Wofford in that first half actually won the points in the paint battle, something you never see against NC State, as Cunane draws the foul. That's on Matthews.
Here's the nice dish behind the back. Nice move, dished it to the corner, and she's wide open for the baseline jumper.
Alexis Tomlin, more of a rebounder last year, led her team in rebounding 8 times, but showing the scoring presence here tonight. Cunane, the deadly free throw shooter at 84% last season. By the way, those free throw makes for Cunane are the only 2 free throws for NC State tonight. There's your 3rd. How do they get to the line more in the second half?
They have to drive the ball to the basket, get the ball into Cunane, and she has to just power it up.
NC State 12-1 last year when leading at the break. Excellent team when jumping ahead. Didn't look that way in the first quarter, down 1, but responding with a 5-point lead at the break. Wofford head coach Jimmy Garrity grew up in Cary, watched this Wolfpack program his entire life, now brings his squad into town, and they're hanging around in the 3rd quarter. Cunane locks it loose. That's a shot clock violation. Now, did the ball hit the rim? That's the question the Wofford staff asks.
Wofford just has more energy right now than the Wolfpack. They're battling on the offensive board, scrapping, getting those loose balls.
Coach Garrity, used to being in this conference, a former Clemson assistant, worked for the Wolfpack Club, raising money, raising awareness for the school 20 years ago when his wife was a tennis coach here, Jenny Garrity. And now he's back for the 2nd time. The first time was when Reynolds was renovated 5 years ago and reopened. Now in a banner year for NC State possible on the women's basketball side.
Yeah, and his team is playing well here. I mean, he should be proud of the effort that his team is putting forth.
Did this ball touch rim? Ooh,
nope.
Close. That's like my baskets growing up. Close to the rim, which never went in. Alongside former NC State standout Ernie Miners, Evan Budrovich with you tonight. Night one of this WNIT. 2 tournaments coalescing across the country. They'll meet up next week with Kansas State coming to town here against the Wolfpack. And building towards conference play, less than a month away. Reyna Perez quiet in the first half, sets up Crutchfield. A lot of attention on Cunane, so Jones is left open. That's her 3rd 3 of the night.
And that's her shot. Nice kick out. See, they got the ball inside the Cunane. She looked out, kicked it out to KJ for the 3.
KJ on a minutes restriction ever so slightly, but in that first half, 5 efficient points. Hits her first 3 in this one. Boy, NC State's made life tough for Lily Hatton, the leading scorer from last year for Wofford. Lutz kicks it outside. Matthews late in the clock. And Tomlin, they're fighting for the rebound.
Tomlin is on it. Here's Kayla Jones. Nice kick out. Splash. KJ with the tray.
KJ missed the Sweet 16, of course, last year. That was a huge loss for NC State come tournament time. A nice presence back in the lineup tonight.
I believe, and this is my opinion, if she didn't get hurt, they'd have been in the Final Four.
Certainly the talent to do so as a #1 seed. Here's the 3 for Hatton.
Quick
Wofford
shot.
struggling from deep tonight. 5 of 15, and the jump ball turns over possession.
See, Wofford is just playing harder on the offensive end. They're on the floor, getting the loose balls.
And this is from a club who was dominated on Tuesday by College of Charleston. What about the response emotionally from the Terriers?
Oh yeah, the coach had him ready. He was disappointed in the effort in the first loss of the season, and the team is responding. They're here, the #5 team in the country, playing hard.
Wofford shot 27% on Tuesday night. The defense is all over the place. Tomlin with the block. What is Wolfpack West saying right there?
Calm down, settle down, run the offense. Cunane, power that up.
West sitting on 190 victories at NC State. He knows the Southern Conference very well with his early roots as a coach.
Another block.
Chattanooga, and a second block by Tomlin. She is ecstatic.
Here's it. Cunane is not getting the ball up high. She's not getting lift.
That matchup with Aaliyah Boston was dynamic with 2 excellent forwards. You can tell Cunane trying to find herself as she gets that layup to go. High expectations on Cunane. She's now in double figures with 11. Tomlin unafraid of the challenge. This is a fun matchup at the 5 position. Up top to Carmen. 8 points so far. And give her 11. Carmen calling her shot from 3. Look at position by Jones. That's too easy. Big mismatch on Annabelle Schultz.
See, they pushed the ball up court, got the ball inside to Jones with a quick lay-in.
NC State powering the ball inside in the second half. How has that impacted their offense?
Oh, it's impacted their offense a lot. They're getting the ball where they want it in position to score.
Points in the paint, now +6 for the Wolfpack. Here's a 3 for Hatton. And the Terriers living by the 3 in the second half. They've made 2. Crutchfield up ahead to Jones. That's pretty with a foul.
Here we go. Kai Crutchfield on the push right here. Sees Jones in a nice dish and the lay-in for Jones. She's hyped.
Kayla Jones, the secret weapon into the starting lineup. 12 points tonight. What a dynamic piece for Westmore to bring in.
Yeah,
about her career high of 25. She's already halfway there, and we got plenty of basketball to go.
Yeah, Kayla Jones is stepping her game up. She had the knee surgery. She's coming back from that.
Good spin move, and the freshman comes up strong on that shot. Reagan Raypert, her dream job is to be a dancer, has a secret talent and a love of dance. Put on some moves there in the lane. Canane has worked on a three-point shot all offseason. Instead, dumps it to Jones, who lays it home.
They're finding Jones in the lane.
Kayla Jones, impact 15 points tonight, Ernie. That's a huge piece for NC State, forcing the timeout from Jimmy Garrity and Wofford. We'll take the timeout as well. The Wolfpack up to its largest lead of the game, riding a 7-0 run. Kayla Jones with 10 points in this third quarter, taking over for NC State.
Yes, she is. Here's the break right here and the push by Kai Crutchfield. Sees a nice lay-in for the and one. Kayla Jones amped.
Kayla Jones, a much-needed 15 points, inserted into the lineup tonight. Look at the scoring numbers boosting over the 4 years.
She's got better over the years. I've watched her over the 4 years blossom into one of the best players in the ACC.
Crutchfield to corner three, and this is a huge run, 10-0 for NC State.
That's Kai Crutchfield's shot right there.
Wofford hanging tough through 25 minutes. Now how do they hang around the next 15?
When Kai Crutchfield gets her position and not think about it, she knocks down that three on a regular basis.
Mel Hobby checks in for Canane defensively here at the 5-minute mark. Cook on the drive, into the body of Hobby, and an offensive foul.
They work on that in practice all the time.
We'll take the media timeout. Crutchfield heating up from downtown as the Wolfpack 7 threes tonight, extending its lead to 17.
It's Diamond on the push.
NC State riding a 10-0 run in the last minute and 49 seconds, starting to put this game out of reach in the third.
Yes, they are. They're pushing the ball up the court. They're finding players in transition, scoring the ball.
Kayla Jones leading the charge. 10 points in this quarter alone to help NC State. This was a 5-point game at the break. Hayes gets her first minutes of this half, and on cue shoots one over her head. That's a turnover for NC State.
Tough pass.
Wolfpack had 7 turnovers in the first half, only their first of this third quarter.
Well, they got the ball out on the break a lot in the early part of the quarter.
Tomlin has been so tough and physical for Wofford, the senior, 3-year starter for Jimmy Garrity. Lays it off to Harris, who attacks the basket.
Pretty drive to the basket by Harris.
Harris, 2-time All-Academic in this conference, an anthropology major, as Johnson puts on a beautiful jumper.
She can shoot the ball.
Her ability to push the ball, bottom line, is what makes Diamond a great player, said head coach Wes Moore this year. And we see it on that transition bucket.
Yeah, she's a scorer, and she has a great touch from three-point range.
Speaking of three-pointers, a rare miss for Jackie Carmen. Leads Wofford with 11 points tonight. Johnson, tip pass, and that's a steal. Here comes Harris 2-on-1. Stolen by Johnson. Up ahead, Hobby. A rare miss in transition.
Diamond almost turned the ball over.
Here's tomorrow's college football lineup right here on ACC Network. At noon Eastern, 6-3 Clemson hosts UConn. Then Duke looks for their first conference win when they play Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. Today's capped off by NC State with Devin Leary against number 9 Wake Forest. Big matchup on Saturday. Rankings have changed a bit, but nonetheless, a battle for the Atlantic Division, and that's very important.
Yes, it is. Wolfpack men's football has a big game tomorrow against Wake.
You have your CFP rankings, your AP rankings. One thing that's for sure, NC State number 5. And despite the loss to number 1 South Carolina, they've shown more resolve in this second half, like an elite basketball team.
Yes. That was a hiccup. They're going to come back and play well.
Jessica Timmons in her first career free throw misses that one. Freshman from Charlotte, part of the top 10 recruiting class in the country.
She can shoot the ball. I've watched her in practice. She shoots the ball very well.
That's 8 different players to score now for NC State. Wofford has 8 players as well. Very balanced scoring in this second game of the season. Rayford sets up Hatton. Wofford living by the 3 in this game, 6 of 18 from deep. Lutz into the lane. That is a difficult shot. And the backboard says no way. Hayes running the floor. Might have traveled. Instead, shot is blocked.
Yeah, she was off balance on that.
NC State's made its last 6 shots from the field before that block. Now can the defense clamp down on Rayford, and she's tripped up. Foul on Madison Hayes. The Mississippi State transfer coming down from Starkville, part of the freshman team this past spring.
Yeah, big transfer from Mississippi. She started as a McDonald's All-American.
Westmore saying she excels in all 3 phases of her game. Wants to give her extended minutes this weekend to see how she progresses. That's the question for NC State. How do they manage 3 returning seniors who all started and bring in a freshman class that's so talented? It's such a unique dynamic for a coach.
And the transfers, you know, some of the top transfers in the country.
Nice steal by Johnson. Speaking of transfers, the Rutgers product takes it away.
Johnson with a head up.
Good kick out. Here's the 3. And NC State taking advantage, 21-point lead.
Kia Brown-Turner with the smooth left-hand jumper from the wing.
Wolfpack, 8 3-pointers and doing a bunch of that in transition. Rayford on the dribble handoff. Defended well by the Wolfpack, who've given up just 8 points in this quarter. Wofford as a team last year, bottom 5 in the Southern Conference in 3-point shooting. They've been forced to chuck up a bunch of them tonight. Clock at 3. Matthews is fouled late in the clock. It's not what you want to see if you're Westmore.
No, you don't. Is Diamond on the push to Kia Brown-Turner with the smooth left-handed jumper. Splash.
That's the 4th assist for Johnson, who sits on 10 points and 7 rebounds. Ooh, Rayford thought she was going to take that 3. Instead, finds Tomlin. And in her sweet spot, comes up long. NC State holding Wofford to 28% shooting in this second half. Something you'd expect from a Westmore coach team making adjustments at halftime. As Camille Hobby rattles it home.
Beautiful move by Hobby on a low post move.
Ernie, this is an 8 of 9 shooting stretch for NC State. How have they found their rhythm offensively?
Just pushing the ball and getting the ball and pushing it in transition and getting easy shots.
Those easy shots have resulted in a 2-minute big scoring stretch, 10-2 run. As drawing the foul is Reagan Rayford.
There's Diamond on the defense.
Oh, she got her foot. That's how the foul started. Stepped on her shoe that time. That's always got to hurt.
Yeah.
So Johnson gets a round of applause from this crowd as she heads to the bench. Canane and Perez return. Carmen, it's a difficult drive. Gets her own rebound, no, and fouled.
Wow. Carmen.
Jackie Carmen, a darling in the paint tonight. It's so assertive and aggressive.
Yeah, in there with the trees.
A former all-freshman standout 3 years ago at Wofford, continues to develop. Missed 2 years ago due to injury, returned, scored 9 points a game, and here she is in double figures. We'll have a women's college basketball doubleheader for you on Sunday at noon Eastern in the Carrier Dome. Neil Ivy and Notre Dame square off against Syracuse, led by guard Crislin Carr. Then Alyssa Cunane right here at number 5 NC State hosts Florida on the ACC Network in the ESPN app. Florida might go to 0-2 in this tournament. That's a big matchup for the Gators on Sunday.
Yes, it is.
Keep an eye on Towson as well. They'll play Sunday and Monday. There's a reach and foul on Helen Matthews. Did not expect entering this tournament the Towson Tigers to be among the best teams, and here they come with a 17-point win and playing really good basketball.
They playing great basketball. I watched the game, just getting the ball up the court, pushing it, knocking down threes. They led the whole game.
Diane Richardson's club's averaging 95 points a game for the first 2. As Hobby misses the free throw. Still a 21-point lead as NC State pulling away in this third quarter, plus 14 in the second half. Bet Westmore's going to spend some time with the free throw line as Canane cleans it up.
Offensive rebounding.
quiet's the wrong word, but 13 and 8 for Canaan tonight through 3 quarters. Wanted to see a bounce-back performance after struggling versus South Carolina, as many do in the country. Good defense by Timmons running over. What do you like about Jessica Timmons, the true freshman?
She's just full of energy. She's into the game. She's a good shooter, and she plays hard.
She's a player who's now tasked to guard Carmen, who's been red hot shooting the ball for Wofford. Rayford fouled on the way in. That's the 5th team foul on NC State, so free throws come in the rest of the quarter. Neither team's been to the free throw line a ton tonight, just 10 combined free throws. As Canaan picks up her 3rd. Reagan Rayford from Union, Missouri, a Union Wildcat who won 4 state titles. Wears number 4. I think that's sort of fitting. She makes the first.
Yeah, right. 4 state titles, that's impressive.
Rayford had 2,200 points in her career, an instant impact freshman for her head coach, Jimmy Garrity.
Reynolds pushing.
NC State could play 2 for 1. Perez gets the cue, missing the 3. Rebound, Brown Turner for 2.
Wolfpack on the offensive boards at the end of this 3rd quarter.
And they played the clock just right. 1 second difference, shot and game clock to end the 3rd quarter. NC State shooting 69% in this 3rd quarter, pulling away from Wofford, searching for its first win of the season. Carmen holding for the final shot with 7. Takes a long 3 and banks it in.
Carmen is on fire here in Valvano Arena.
That shot will not count. So Wofford keeps it within 20. Nonetheless, the offense for NC State heating up in a 28-point 3rd quarter, led by the standout starter tonight, Kayla Jones. Wolfpack by 20. Wolfpack leading by 20 here to start the 4th quarter, thanks in large part to a tremendous shooting quarter from the field.
Yeah, they just getting good shots in transition, layups, 3-pointers, wide open.
This Wolfpack club predicted very well in the ACC entering this year, clearly number 5 in the country. And Ernie, how do they live up to the expectations of being the preseason favorites in this conference?
Well, that's huge to live up to. But they got the players. They just got to find the right combinations.
The 1 vote in the coaches' polls from Wes Moore for Louisville. He has respect for others. You also can't vote for yourself. It's kind of kind of bad taste. As Rayford for a SoCon team in Wofford, who was picked to finish 3rd in the league, behind Mercer, the reigning champions of the conference. Timmons, who scored her first career point back in the 3rd quarter, dumps it down to Hobby. Boy, nearly a 3-second call. Jen Bryant kicks it out, and Timmons rattles out the 3. Rebound, Hobby, drawing the foul that time.
Wolfpack active on the glass, getting these offensive rebounds in the 2nd half.
Westmore
Camille Hobby working hard.
Noted after Tuesday he wanted to see more minutes from Camille Hobby, the junior center, showing some toughness on that offensive rebound.
Yes, she is. And she's a throwback player. Again, backing up the All-American, the big smile. She can probably start on a lot of teams in the ACC, but she stayed and she's loyal. And she's one of my favorite players.
Hobby averaged 4.5 points per game last year, but in her 1 start, 19 points, replacing Canaan, who could not play at Boston College. That's a huge contribution when you needed it most.
Yeah, hit a big 3 to put it into overtime. She can score the ball, and she's not afraid.
10 different players have scored for NC State, including 4 in double figures. That's what Westmore would love to see on the box score tonight. Lily Hatton on the shot fake. Carmen's been red hot, 14 points. That's a difficult angle for Hatton, who has struggled shooting the ball. 1 of 5.
Timmons pushing.
Pushing to the limit. Setting up the triple.
James. Good looking freshman to freshman.
This young nucleus for Westmore gives a round of applause from the coach. Liking his offense pulling ahead here by 25. Ernie, if you're head coach with 5 returning seniors and 3 new freshmen with talent. How do you mix this lineup along as the season goes?
Well, that's why he gets paid the big bucks. He's got to figure that out, Coach, and he will. He's a great coach. He's trying to find the right combinations. He's getting a lot of players, a lot of playing time in this game.
Searches for win 191 tonight, does Westmore. Good defense by Hatton. Second chance, no. And a tough go of it for Madison Hayes.
Yeah, she's playing hard. She's just not getting it. Scoring on the offensive end.
Wolfpack in the second half, 60% shooting. They've held Wofford to 25% from the field. Tomlin does not shoot many threes, so she works it inside. Good position. Hatton on the pass. Nice ball movement for Wofford, but no three-pointer. And it goes to NC State.
Yeah, Wofford was moving the ball around the perimeter. Got the shot that they wanted, just couldn't knock it down. Here's Timmons on the push to James with the pretty left-handed jumper.
Gotta love 17 assists on 28 6-made baskets.
They're sharing the basketball big time in the second half.
Been sharing the love with you tonight. Ernie Myers dishing some dimes. My analyst here, Evan Budrovich on the call. Loose ball to Timmons. Good shot, fake, and drawing the foul.
Timmons is a good-looking freshman.
She was the 16th ranked combo guard in the country from North Mecklenburg, Charlotte. Showing a little bit of dishing and driving and a lot of key pieces. How about this recruiting class for Westmore coming in?
Yeah, and we haven't seen Sophie yet.
You always love when the numbers are inside the top 100. Anytime you can bring in high-quality players. Now, clearly in a game like this, you can get freshman minutes, but as the season goes on, if you're Westmore, it's a chess match of, do I put her in this game? Do I manage it against an ACC team? How do I work my freshman into the fold? Because he mentioned to us, it's their team next year, but he has to get them ready for this moment.
Yeah, he's looking towards the future. And here's Sophie. She's in the game.
There's number 32, Sophie Hart out of Farmington, Minnesota. On defense this time. Tomlin takes it to school.
Yeah, the senior kind of schooled the freshman on that low post move right there.
Tomlin's had a big night, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Look at James going to work and Isaiah missing. Tough rebound for Hayes, no.
And that's what she does. Hayes, she battles, she gets rebounds.
Tomlin was running the floor. Instead, Schultz comes up strong on the 3. And Wofford
Hayes on the rebound.
7 of 21 from deep. The Terriers did double their three-point shooting totals from Tuesday night. Good reach in by Tomlin. Ooh, and a foul called late. I think Hatton and Tomlin go, oh, well, that was good defense. I thought they might have had a jump ball there.
Yeah. Hart was dropped up and power move to the basket, but she got held up.
I was waiting for you to say playing with Hart, but I'll keep it on my bingo card for later tonight.
That's a good one.
As Tomlin takes a breather. Night 1 of the WNIT here at Reynolds Coliseum. NC State searching for its first win after dropping to number 1 South Carolina on Tuesday. Jen Bryant, part of a deep rotation for Westmore tonight. 13 different players. Here's the 3 for Hayes. That's a bit off, and Hart the rebound. Right back out to Hayes, and she draws the foul. That's 4 here in the first 3 minutes of this quarter.
Yeah. Olivia Hart with the offensive rebound and kick out.
Great nugget on the graphic there. 0 for the last 6 shooting for NC State. Has to be difficult as a team when you bring in a whole new lineup looking to find the rhythm offensively.
Yeah, it's different players, different combinations.
There's foul number 5, so NC State goes to the free throw line the rest of the way, and that sends Jessica Timmons to the line. Abby Crawford picks up her first. Remember, Matthews and Hatton each have 4, so the depth down low is a bit missing for Wofford.
Jessica Timmons on the line for the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack West in the gang gearing up for a big Sunday against Florida on ACC Network. And then a few games here at home as well. Towson and Kansas State before hitting the road and leaving the country for a couple of weeks. What a nice trip upcoming, but some big games on the schedule nonetheless.
Yes, it is. They got one of the top schedules in the country. And coach is playing a lot of players. You know, there's 3 games.
Ernie, how do we get on that flight to the Bahamas is my question.
Yeah,
good
no,
teams
right?
as well. Top 10, Maryland on the schedule. Washington State in that tournament.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice trip.
Carmen navigates the lane, sets up Schultz, who pays it off with a three.
Schultz bottomed that.
Schultz has had a nice performance, 11 points, mostly from three-point land. If Wofford can hit their threes consistently, this is a club that'll do well in the Southern Conference. Much different task against the favorites in the ACC, as Bryant missing the three. Rebound, no.
James is very athletic.
James draws a foul as well. Both those players sneaking down the baseline to make some nice plays.
James is very athletic. She has like a lot of bounce.
NC State is 4 of 6 from the free throw line on Tuesday. How about tonight getting the line for free throws 15 and 16?
Madison Hayes is not a good free throw shooter.
Had a season high of 13 points last year at Mississippi State against Georgia, part of her all freshman team season. However, to your point shot, 58% from the line, and misses both that time.
Here's James on the hustle.
Good dish back to her. There you go. Feed the rock to the player who needs it most, and Hart finds her target in Hayes.
Great awareness by the freshman.
Is there something to that as a player? You want to give the ball back to someone who missed a shot? As there's a block by Hayes and a foul. That's on the drive, so free throws for Wofford.
Here's Hayes on the miss. Here's James with the save.
But look at that pass.
Nice pass by Hart. For the lay-in by Hayes.
Wes Moore will be a happy camper. 18 assists on 27 baskets for NC State.
Sharing the basketball.
Got to practice your virtue. Sharing is caring, as Aristotle once said. Wes Moore knows that his club has a big week ahead.
Dream work.
Captain Cliche, I have Mudrovich and Ernie Myers with you here for the start of the WNIT preseason classic. NC State extending its largest lead of this game up to 26. Remember, this was a 5-point game at halftime.
Sophie.
Hart dishing it out to Bryant.
That's her shot.
And the Wolfpack with 10 threes.
Genesis Bryant. She had 12 points in the exhibition. She didn't play against South Carolina. But she was a top 40 player coming out of high school.
So if you're a player and you score double figures in an exhibition, do you add that to your season stats?
No.
It doesn't count officially, but it's still nice to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about those secret scrimmages? Do you add those stat totals if you go off for 30 in a night when no one can see it?
Well, you know you're playing well.
Harris is denied by Bryant. Dump ahead. Here comes James.
She's not catching James.
In transition.
Genesis Bryant knocks down the three, gets the steal, and pushes up the court.
Coming out party
for the
for
lay-in.
Isaiah James, 7 points in her debut. Part of a scoring trifecta for NC State. 11 different players that scored. Here's a corner three, way off. Sydney Raquetto could not hit. In fact, 12 players have scored for NC State tonight.
Genesis.
Ooh, Bryant thought a step ahead of James. And somehow saving that ball. Madison Hayes keeps it in play. Hayes wants it. She says, give me the ball, give me the ball. And a reach and foul sends Hart to the line. NC State running and gunning in transition.
Here's Genesis Bryant with the great defense. She's pushed her heads up to James for the nice lay-in.
Kayla Jones gets the nod in the starting lineup. 15 points later, good decision from Wes Moore.
Absolutely, here she is with the three. Kayla Jones, it's a nice dish. Here, Brown Turner. Here's her on the push for Kai Crutchfield. Here she is with the nice three-pointer. Jones delivering for the Wolfpack.
The Energizer Bunny doubling her total in points from Tuesday night. You see Jones here, 6 of 8 shooting. Very effective as well, and a big cheerleader on the sideline too.
Oh yeah, she's the glue. Again, she brings the whole team together. She's rooting for her teammates.
Cheering on Sophie Hart, who scored her first career point on that free throw. And NC State with its largest lead at 30.
I love Hayes' hustle. She's on the offensive boards, defensive boards.
Here's Jeray Smith going through the trees. The drive by Ricchetto. Right back to her. Oh, good block. Timmons draws the foul as well, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Coach Moore loves that.
NC State a busy weekend coming up. Florida this weekend, and then Towson on Monday. How valuable are these minutes late in the fourth quarter to build confidence for the young roster leading into the weekend?
Oh, yes. I mean, you got 3 games, so you're getting a lot of players rest, your starters rest. It's great that they can come out here, the freshmen, and some players who haven't played a lot, and they're playing well right now, so that's awesome.
Ty Crutchfield leads NC State with 23 minutes. That's a number you can live with if you're Westmore, leading 2 games in the next 3 days.
Oh, yes. He's loving what he's seeing right now.
You won't see it in his face, but he'll be a happy camper post-game.
No.
He searches for his 191st win at NC State. Wofford, what a valiant first half. Just not enough guns in the armor in the second. Oh, there's the 3. Annabelle Schultz, her 3rd three-pointer.
Yeah, Schultz.
14 points for Schultz.
Annabelle is hot.
That's a new career high. Hart wants position in the post, and another reach-in foul. Wolfpack shoot free throws the rest of the way. They got into the bonus 4 minutes into this half. Into this quarter, I should say. What have you seen from Jessica Timmons tonight? 7 points, all at the free throw line, and 14 quality minutes.
Oh, yeah, she's playing. She's playing hard. Coach loves her defensive effort. And she's very active on the offensive end.
Did you see Westmore sitting there next to his teammates, just enjoying the game? I don't know who's going to coach the team the rest of the way with 3 minutes left.
There's Hayes.
Hayes driving in. There you go. And Wolfpack West enjoying the view from the court. That's a head coach who trusts his young players to go out there and get experience. No coaching needed down the stretch.
Look at Hayes on the defensive end.
Timmons locking down Ricchetto.
Look at the defense from these.
These are players eager for minutes.
Yes.
And Hart with the tip. That's what you want to see, especially from a team that has plenty of freshmen to deal off the bench. 3 talented young prospects, including Hart, who has it right here. Fade away. Oh. All freshman jitters on that shot.
Oh, yeah. She had position.
Don't leave Schultz open for 3. Oh, she wanted her 4th. And instead, James saves it. Isaiah James, one of those freshmen in her debut. 7 points off the bench. She wants double figures, and she almost has it. Wofford basketball.
I call that a freshman shot.
Coming up for Wofford, same 2 teams in this tournament, just flip the days. And then some home games coming up. Southern Wesleyan, UNC Asheville, and High Point. Little Big South swing for the Terriers here in November. Wofford, the 3rd-ranked team in the Southern Conference, entering the year. There's a promising 3 for Lauren Cook.
Lauren Cook. Nice release on that 3.
We haven't seen much from Lily Hatton, but Cook has stepped up. Schultz has played well. Carmen's been excellent. Good rebound by Cook. These teams have combined for 20 made 3-pointers. That's a lot of deep balls.
That's it. Yes, it is.
Looking for 21, but James knew it was coming. James running the head. Good bounce pass to Hayes.
James set that up. She saw it through the corner of her eye and gave it to Hayes for the lay-in.
Diamond in the rough on that pass. Filled in the shoes of Diamond Johnson late in this game. NC State 21 assists in this game, and there's a steal. Little run out.
It's Hayes again.
Up ahead to Bryant, wants a second assist. Oh, look at that finish.
James.
Using the rim as protection in transition.
Genesis Bryant on a scoop to the basket.
Final minute in this 4th quarter. The keys are ringing here at Reynolds. And Schultz wants this night to continue. Give her 16.
She said, shh.
She's
playing her game.
Don't turn on the cars just yet. We got some game to play here with 35 seconds.
Oh, nice back door.
James, there she goes in double figures.
James floating through the lane. Isaiah James is getting it.
This is the freshman standout 4th quarter for NC State. After trailing by 5 at the break, the Wolfpack have pulled away. We have a foul late.
Isaiah James saying, Coach, you're going to have to find some time for me.
12 different players have scored for NC State. That's what you wanted to see after a tough loss, as Schultz comes up short on the 3. And the Wolfpack can hold it for the final 15 seconds.
Yeah, Coach just gave him the signal, hold it, don't shoot it.
NC State wanted a bounce-back win. Westmore challenged his club to respond, and boy did they ever in the second half. Pulling away from the Wofford Terriers as the Wolfpack earned their first victory of the season, a 90-point offensive performance.
Yeah, they pushed the ball, they got the ball in transition, got layups, pitch out threes, transition baskets, and they played great defense in the second half.
12 different players on the score column, led by Kayla Jones with 15 in the start. Really a balanced effort as Westmore earns his 749th all-time win as a head coach.
Man, he's a great coach. That's a lot of wins. That's a lot of wins.
A lot of wins and an important first win for NC State, bouncing back from a loss and responding with a quality second half.
And that's what he wanted to see. He wanted to get everybody, he said in the presser that he wanted to get everybody involved. He wanted to play more players, and he did that, and they all showed up.
Showing up in a big way, 90 points, led by a dominant second half. Wofford came out strong early, but Elisa Cunane and company heated up in the second half. For our hardworking crew, what a great night here in Raleigh for NC State. Alongside Ernie Myers, I'm Evan Budrovich. Thank you for joining us here in Reynolds Coliseum. Your final, NC State 90, Wofford 57, as the Wolfpack get back on the win column.